we got to talk about Purdy, man. So he got the money. Last year, he went 6-9, missed 2 games, and I've never seen a quarterback get more excuses. I mean, he got an extension after winning 6 games. The whole world felt that he was a victim in this circumstance, and maybe he was. But I don't know that he's going to get that benefit of the doubt in the future. Will he get the same excuses, leeway if things go bad this year?
From the same mouth breathers who always bother me every day. Yeah, for sure. 1,000%. He's gonna.
Yeah, but not from the discourse directors of 49ers Twitter.
No,
YouTube,
like, all. Like, and you know what's funny? Like, I was commending the Niners for this contract, and like the same people who were giving me shite for it. It's like, whoa, what do you know? Like, you guys all of a sudden, like, where everyone's quiet, and then look, I kind of was right about what they were kind of giving him, but whatever. I'm not tooting my horn. Look, his excuses are like from last year. Everyone equates it to the injuries, like just the 49ers in general. And I hate that excuse because this wasn't the 2020 49ers that got ravaged by injuries. That was a season that was lost by injuries. I'm not saying injuries didn't play a factor or a significant one this past season. 1,000% did. But look,
it did.
Was Purdy without a bunch of weapons simultaneously? That wasn't the case until the latter half of the season. Like, he still had, you didn't have like all these, he didn't have McCaffrey and all these players, but he still had Ayuk, he still had Debo. He had a great running game with Jordan Mason. He had Kittle, and like the offensive line is not as bad as most people make it out to be. And so what was the excuse? I don't get it. Like, what was it? What was the, like, why couldn't he perform? And my issue with him was his decision-making. He's forcing the ball because he did, if you go on Next Gen Stats, because I got the plug on, I got the little membership, right? And it says like he was targeting beyond the sticks more than he ever had in his career. It was like 3-4 yards more. Why? He didn't know how to act without McCaffrey. So he's trying to put more on his shoulders. And he talked about it. I remember after or before the Cowboys game was like, I just got to start putting more trust in my teammates. I got to start put not too much of myself. He wasn't playing his game. He was trying to be something he wasn't, which was crazy to me. So the excuses need to become limited, if at all. Like, it's going to all matter, right? Certain context, like, okay, well, like maybe you start whatever, but you're making all this money now, and you still have you surprisingly still have a talented offense, but by the sacrifice of the defense, right? So now you're going to have to put up points. Why couldn't they put up points last year? Your red zone sucked. Like, you guys went from like the best to like bottom feeding, which is actually funny because if you actually look at the final like ranking, they're actually in the middle of the pack, which shows you how much they really like inflated it with their last 5 games of the year. But he was abysmal there. Red zone, decision making, forcing the ball. Let's boost that up because your defense is young. They're probably gonna give up some points, right? They're probably gonna be like a 20, 22 point per game at least. First half, maybe. Who knows? Maybe it's the whole year. There's more on you, Purdy, to make the right decisions. And me, take care of the ball because you were terrible with doing that last year, number one. So play within yourself because you make these mistakes. Like, I don't want to hear it. You got paid. Like, I want to see the 2023 version. I don't want to see the 2020 version.
Yeah, I mean, there will be a lot of people making excuses, mouth breathers, if you will. But I gotta say, the whole thing with the offensive line is a legit excuse, and it's not necessarily his choice to neglect the offensive line. I don't understand why the Niners choose that position of all the positions to go so cheap, especially when you just made like the biggest investment in franchise history by far at a position that is so directly I mean, the better the offensive line, the better the quarterback. Look at Jalen Hurts. No one really thinks he's elite, but behind that offensive line, he is. He freaking is. And maybe Brock would be if he had that kind of an offensive line. I mean, but he doesn't. So if he goes down, if he gets hurt again this year, we could blame him, depending on how the plays out. But that could be on the organization too, and that's kind of scary for them. Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, COHN, and download the app now.
Look, I see the pushback is, so I'm not big on those PFF grades too much, right? Everyone can read into it, but I feel like one of the rankings that they got perfectly right was where the 49ers offensive line was at, which is what they ranked them number 14. That felt perfect to me because the run game, honestly, if anything that they sucked in the offensive line was in the run game. The reason why I give Purdy more blame for that is because his rankings, he was top 6 or 7 in time to throw.
He held the ball a long time.
So long. And that goes back to like why? Because look, his attempts beyond the sticks was the highest in his career. So he was too busy looking for those
checking it down.
Plays. Yeah, he wasn't doing that. He wasn't taking like, bro, just
you can't get $53 million a year checking the ball down, Jose.
Ah.
And maybe now that he got his money, he'll go back to playing.
Well, he got it by making late game mistakes, so it worked out anyways for him. So I mean, that's the thing.
But it wasn't his fault, man. The separation, the this and that. It's like I think those days are over.
Like and the separations goes to like it doesn't even account for the guys that he moved off of either. So I hate that too. So it's like we don't even have a way to equate that. How I see it is like, look, is the offensive line great or good? Like I'm not even saying that either. I just think it's not abysmal or mediocre. Is it average? Yeah, I think it's average. I think it's enough for them to get by in that offense. So long as Purdy's like making like correct and timely reads. He wasn't last year. He had the high. So you're telling me like an offensive line that was bad in pass pro, somehow they made him the top 6 or 8 time to throw, which I think was close to 3 seconds, but yet he was also top 8 or 6 in most pressurized quarterbacks. So it's like, what are we doing here? Like, like part of it, if not a good portion of it, I think I'm going to blame him for half of it. It was his fault. Like you're allowing like, bro, you know, the offensive line you're behind, you don't have all this time. Like and look, most quarterbacks have this issue too. So, hey, Purdy, guess what? You want this money? Guess what? We're going to have to go cheap and try to hit on these mid-round picks in the guard position. Because the most awful offensive lineman they had last year was Aaron Banks. He's gone now. So Barch is either the same or a little better. What was it? Like you got the center position, you got him okay, whatever. Brent Pooney's solid, McKivitz is whatever. And I don't know. Personally, I think offensive line is fine. It's not great or even that good, but I blame more offensive issues on Purdy. Because if he was at least like 20% of his throws were like timely, it's like we don't have that memories of him scrambling or getting hit. And shoot, for all we like, if I were to actually go back, I could probably maybe like make some tallies. Like he was running away, he was dipping from the pocket way too early. He's dipping it from way too early. I don't know. This goes back to the excuses. Like, look, like where are the excuses for him?
Yep.
Is the offensive line is bad? Like we can go with it back and forth.
But no one's going to want to hear it when you're making $53 million a year. You wanted $53 million a year. So the offensive line, chances are, isn't going to be that expensive. So make it work. Because it's not your fault, but your contract is kind of influencing everything on the team. So you kind of are at fault. Get started at factormeals.com/Cohn50off and use code Cohn50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. If it doesn't go right.
But I think if we want to focus on offensive line, that's a Kyle Shanahan philosophy, right? They're not big on offensive linemen. I think Forrester said that, right? Like November or something or October about like, yeah, the reason why we go cheap or we go, day 3 on these guys is because they don't handle the ball. They're not ball carriers, not playmakers, right? The money makers are the playmakers and not the offensive linemen. And I'm always been a forever proponent that you could day 3 draft pick your way with guards. It's the tackle position that's like a little like, okay, what can we do with that? That's why I think I'm actually fairly hopeful that Barch is going to be okay there. It's like, oh, he'll probably just be like, oh, whatever guy. You can just fill in names there and you'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's just tackles and even centers, especially in this offense, right? Because centers play a key role in like all that cognition, like the IQ and like executing, right? So I'm just looking at Purdy like, are you going to make the right assessment before when you're reading, like you're seeing where the guys are lined up beforehand? Are you going to make those timely decisions? And even a little bit of college. Look, if I'm trying to defend Purdy, like I know we're talking about excuses. I kind of didn't like where Kyle wasn't looking too much to get him like those easy throws immediately to build himself up. It kind of feels like to me like Purdy's always been in rhythm thrower, where if you get him just at least like 2 to 3 passes, like cool, he let him out, he got him out, dump off screens. Now we're good. Now let him take those shots.
Yep. Joseph Ernberg says, Grant, tell him to shut the hell up and fix his shredded knee. No, I don't think I will. No, I don't think I will.
How about
but
no?
You can do that. Jut Hunt says, Quinshon Judkins, Grant, off the board. Thanks for this suggestion. John Zach says, any truth to Purdy putting on 10 pounds of muscle?
God damn it,
10 pounds of muscle every month. I mean, he's yoked. Anyway, before we get to our last topic, I want to acknowledge this week's sponsor, Factor. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. You know me, I'm super active. I don't have time to be cooking, so I need my Factor. I use this and you should too. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals. Have you seen my gains? Have you seen my goals? You should. Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Get started at factormeals.com/Cohn50off and use code Cohn50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code Cohn50off at factormeals.com/Cohn50 Cohn 50 off for 50% off plus free shipping. Factormeals.com/Cohn50 off. I've lost 6 pounds already. You could be next at Factor. Anyway, just want to put that out there. Trying to lose weight
For what?
because I'm getting old. Lost 5 pounds. It's a good feeling. It's a great feeling.